Hey, this is Thunder Bob with BikerNet TV. I'm here with Dave Rash again. We're talking about the bike you're about to race here. It's a V-Bike kit, but we want to know more. Tell us the details. Let's start with something that's near and dear to your heart, the pipes.
Well, you know, of course, I could probably speak more about that than I can anything else. It's like everything that we try to do at D&D is develop a piece that fits the configuration that we're dealing with. And you know, there's been several generations of pipes designed for this on our dynamometer that we have back at our shop. And as the way the configuration of this motor is right now, we've built what you see on there now, and that's that we feel is. I don't think you can ever build the ultimate exhaust system. You know, you can make many configurations, but what you try to do is match the exhaust system to the configuration of the motor, and then you know, to extract everything you can out of it. And that's what we do with the rest of our exhaust systems for a street bike or performance bike. I think that's the most important thing. You know, everything that we build there, we put on a dyno, including this thing. You know, and we try to certify. We do certify what we produce is of course what we sell for this motorbike. It's just done the same way, same criteria for this scooter as it does for all the other stuff that we build off.
So this is sort of your real life testing of the pipes, of what they can do and how they perform.
Well, you know, you can do all the dyno testing you want to do, and you can do all the bench racing you want to do, and you know, when it gets down to the real fact, you know, if it's a drag race bike, you got to go drag race. Road race bike, you got to go road race. If you're going to run it at Bonneville, you got to run it at Bonneville. And so this is the acid test. Until then, it's all speculation. You can get all your facts and make sure what you have is going to perform up to the standards that you want it to. But when it gets down to it, it's always like when the rubber touches the road. In this case, when the rubber touches the salt. You know?
Well, somebody told me, Dave, that Bonneville is the great white dyno. Would you agree with that?
I think it's the great equalizer. There is so many factors in racing at the salt. You know, with weather conditions, the salt conditions. I mean, it's like it'd be very hard to put into I think a couple of paragraphs. You know what implies to race at this place. This is a very difficult venue to race at. Of course, that's one of the reasons that we're so very fortunate. John Manano, the man that rides this motorbike, has been down this racetrack on many a motorbike. At one time, John was the only AA license holder on a motorcycle over 250 miles an hour in the world. So experience counts here. Age has nothing to do with it, you know. And in other forms of racing, if you're young and full of testosterone, you know, you go fast. Here, it's experience. Experience counts. I just heard a guy today that was going down the salt, was 80 years old. You know, you don't hear that in any other form of racing. Any other form of racing, you don't have any 80-year-old men racing. You know, so it all comes to experience more than anything else.
That's a one-of-a-kind deal. I mean, there's no other place like this on earth, and it's all American. Hey, let me ask you, on the pipes, your pipes are run on the assault weapon, the 5-ball bike. And Keith was telling me that you advised him not to heat wrap those pipes, but you've done some minor heat wrapping here. So,
just keep the heat off John's leg.
So it's just for safety for the rider.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of people do that, but there are reasons that I don't think that it's. I think now there are some coatings, there's some ceramic coatings, there's some coatings you can put on the inside of exhaust systems that are heat barriers that I think are much more effective than wrapping them. You know, if you want to keep the heat off a particular part, matter of fact, like what you see on here, the heat wrapping, there's another material that's underneath that. So you know, it's not just what you see on the outside.
Anything else about the bike that you want to point out and you think is worth noting?
Well, I think the unique thing about this particular motorbike is the fact that being a Rev-Tech motor is not considered a motor that lends itself to a high performance application. It just proves if you want to make hot rod stuff out of anything, you just have to put some thought into it. Just like the pistons that are in this, you know, we basically designed them ourselves and had Wiseco build the pistons for us. So I mean, there's just a lot of things about this motor that are unique to it. But we still started with the Rev-Tech base. So, you know, it's a one of a kind. Bottom line, that's, you know, and if I told you everything was in the motor, those other guys that we race against, they'd probably hear all this stuff and how, you know, kind of like spy stuff. See, Bob, I just have to kill you because you'd have too much information, and we don't want to let the world know about that. But it's a trick, Bob.
No, we don't want to let my wife know about it because she's the one that has the insurance policy. The good news is, Dave, is that they're not going to see this till way after the fact.
Well, let's hope so. Yeah, let's hope so. You know, it always comes down to what you can do when you're out in competition. But we're very, very happy that the fact that the people at Custom Chrome had enough confidence in us to let us have all the stuff it took, the basic equipment, everything else that's in this motor. You know, we pretty much designed it and built it, and so it's a combination of teamwork between the two companies.
What kind of transmission are you running on the bike?
We actually are running this 6-speed Rev-Tech transmission, which is designed for those folks. So that's another part that we got from them, which has been it's designed for a motor that puts out somewhere in the neighborhood. Their 110 motors, about 70 horsepower. You got a 6-speed gearbox here that's designed to, of course, maintain that kind of horsepower, and it's putting out, you know, in excess of 185 horsepower, and it still works. So it must be pretty strong. That's all I got to say.
185 horsepower in a bike that weighs less than 500 pounds. That's got to move quick down the salt.
Yes, sir, it does. So, you know, it equates to getting, you know, as much of it on the ground as you possibly can. There again, that's another thing that makes this a unique venue, because the conditions of the salt have a lot to do with, you know, your traction, and you're only going to go as fast as ever how much traction you have.
Well, listen, my friend, good luck to you again, and keep the rubber on the salt.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Thank you.
All right, this is Thunder Bob signing off for BikerNet TV.
BikerNet Television is sponsored in part by Metric Thunder.